I just want to take the opportunity to wish everybody so far, hopefully having a wonderful summer and to continue to have a happy and healthy summer as we go on. I wanted just to reach out a little bit and just share a couple of words as we're getting close to Shabbos Nachamu. We're kind of almost in the transition mode between the period of the 3 weeks that culminated with Tisha B'Av earlier in the week, and now beginning, in a sense, the happier end of Chodesh Av, the time of Shabbos Nachamu, to B'Av, leading, of course, into the end of the month, which will transition right into Chodesh Elul, leading us into the wonderful Yom Tovim of Tishrei Abba Tova. I think that there's something that we can almost learn from the very name Nachamu. The word Nachamu, of course, coming from the word Nechama, and we usually translate the word Nechama as meaning comfort, consolation, which of course is true. But the word Nechama also has a different meaning and a related meaning. Torah sometimes uses the phrase Vayinochem Hashem, Vayinochem, meaning that he changed his mind. What does that mean? Kadosh Baruch Hu changed his mind. Vayinochem al hara. He changed his mind from doing what he was planning on doing. How can we always speak about that, about Kadosh Baruch Hu? So the word Nechama, Lenachem, to in a sense change one's mind, is really to change one's perspective. That there are many things that occur in the world, and it's up to us to choose how we want to look at them. There are many things that can be interpreted, can be looked at really in multiple ways. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, B'chol V'yaspo, teaches us that sometimes even he, Kaviyachol, will take a little bit of a different shift, a little different turn, and will look at things a little bit of a different perspective. The Psukim immediately following the Chedega, Vayinochem Hashem al hara, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in a sense, changes mind, changes perspective. Rather than focusing on the Chet per se of Klal Yisrael, and the Chet itself, B'nai Sadin, would have dictated that the Jewish people would have been destroyed, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took a step back, Kaviyachol, and focused on all the good things of Klal Yisrael, on the zchus of Klal Yisrael, particularly the zchus avos of Klal Yisrael, the potential that we as the descendants of Am Yitzchak and Yaakov ultimately have in each and every one of us. And if HaKadosh Baruch Hu can change perspective and change his view and look at things in a different light, then it behooves us to do this as well. And we are asked by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we are expected by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to change our perspective on things. Perhaps it's the notion of perspective that was the root of the very first Tisha B'Av, that when the Meraglim came back and they reported, and Klal Yisrael accepted that report, within the report itself was not terrible, that yes, there were strong people in the land, okay, and yes, the fruit was rather strange, very large, but neither of those two things were per se objectively so terrible. That the fruit being big, that's a wonderful bracha. The people were strong, Kadosh Baruch Hu was more powerful, stronger than them. It's a question of perspective. If you take a very pessimistic look, and you're always looking for trouble, you're looking for problems, you're looking for negativity, then no doubt in this world you'll find it. What Shabbos Nachamu teaches us is that even HaKadosh Baruch Hu can turn around to us and say, to the same nation that not that long ago he said Chazon, Yeshua ben Amos, about the destruction of Klal Yisrael, the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, but all the terrible Chatoim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu could look at the same nation and say, Nachmu Ami, that there are some very good parts about the Jewish people. There's some very positive things about Klal Yisrael, even with their faults. And that's really what Shabbos Nachamu is all about. It's a transformation, it's a relooking, a different perspective. HaKadosh Baruch Hu expects us to change our perspective on how we view the world, look at things a little bit more optimistically, look at things a little bit more positively, look at things a little bit more munah, to change our perspective, how we look at one another. The Chet of Sinas Chinam that was responsible for the destruction of the second Beis Hamikdash, Chazal tell us. So the Chet of Sinas Chinam also just needs a little bit of a tweak, a little bit of a turn, a little bit of a twist. Change your perspective on your fellow man. Instead of looking for one's faults, look for perhaps some of his good points, some brighter points that will change your entire relationship with one another. So the avoda is in a sense not so difficult right now. The avoda is simply to take a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a change in Abinam Lamoko, a little bit of a change in Abinam Lechavero, to look more positive at the world around us, look more positive at our fellow man. And in this chus of our putting a little bit more of a positive spin on things in our life, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Mirat Hashem will put a tremendous positive spin for all of us. So I wish everybody a wonderful Shabbos Nachamu. we begin the period of the Shiva D'Nechemta, the 7 weeks of Nechama, which culminate with the beginning of Chodesh Tishrei. So Kodesh Baruch Hu should look down at us and accept our Nechama L'Tova and treat us in turn with Nechama L'Tova. We should be Zocha, literally very, very soon, to Nachu, Ami, Yom Malakechem. A wonderful Shabbos Nachmu to all.